Hey everybody, it's SMK Gaming here. When we play first-person shooter games, we develop new skills which make us better at these games. These skills can include the ability to control recoil, improved accuracy, and better communication with teammates. These are the skills often talked about and are regarded as why a person is a good player. However, this is far from being true. What about the skills you cannot see? I used to be a lifeguard. What use would I have been as a lifeguard if I did not have the knowledge to perform CPR and other life-saving techniques when I brought someone out of the pool? I could be the best swimmer in the world, but that is not enough. Likewise, with first-person shooter games, the skills previously mentioned are not enough. The very best players have highly developed mental skills also. These are not often talked about, but are just as important. The very best players are thinkers and can identify the most imminent threat to their survival and prioritise their targets. They can anticipate enemy movements and as a result plan their attack or defence. They have great movement and positioning around the map and can use in-game visual and auditory information to their advantage that many would not pay attention to. I will show you how you too can develop or improve upon these existing skills across 2 different videos, and will pose questions to you throughout to see if you can get the correct answer. If you wish to skip any particular part, timestamps are in the video information below. Let's get started. First up is target prioritization and situational awareness. So what is this? Most players, when they spot a target, they start shooting straight away, regardless of their positioning and how many enemies they face. This is not smart, and it is not only counterproductive to your chances of survival, but also your team's chances of winning. Sometimes the best option is to retreat or find cover before you engage. If you come across multiple targets in front of you on the battlefield, each target you see will pose different threat levels. This is illustrated here. Those that are aware of you and are looking at you pose more of a threat than those that are not aware of your presence. They should be dealt with first. Most people playing this game or other first-person shooters recognise this. However, say none are looking at you, as the following clip will show. I will freeze it here. Now, does it matter who you engage first? Yes, it certainly does. Highlighted is the person you should target and kill first. As he is further back, they will almost certainly see you and your bullets immediately if you engage the further forward players. In situations like this, you work from the back forwards. You should also check the area around you with a quick glance to make sure no one is in and around that area and has a chance to kill you as you engage the other players. Ideally, be in cover or at least close to it, as you are always most vulnerable when you have your sights set on someone else. Another instance where players should prioritise include players who are about to disappear out of sight. This may be around a corner, into a building, or over a hill. If you are not going to have enough time to kill that person before they disappear, do not engage them. If you do engage, you're only making them aware that you are there. And this will give them an advantage because they now have cover around that corner, in that house, or over that hill should they choose to turn around and engage you. Additionally, if you are flanking and are aiming to get around your enemy, try to limit your engagements as much as possible, even if you see enemies close by. You want to get around undetected. If you do kill one, what will happen is they will now know you are flanking and spawn back at base or the nearest point to where you were previously to stop you. If they were in a squad communicating with 2 or 3 other players, they now know where you are through communication and party chat, or the fact that they now see a teammate down and needs revived. This is the one I see many struggling with. They cannot resist taking that one player out, but in doing so, you could ruin your own flank by making others aware of your presence. If I was taken out by someone flanking, I spawned back in front of them to stop them, as did this person shown here. Next up is anticipation. People who watch my streams or gameplay say I have very good reactions, and in a way that is sort of true, as this clip is about to show. This was purely a reaction to being shot at. However, a large reason why it appears that I have fast reactions is because a lot of the time I anticipate a player being in a certain area or coming in a certain direction. I am not solely depending on my reaction time and accuracy. I have what you might call floaty aim as I traverse and move around a map. I usually have my crosshair on entry and exit points as well as areas where players might appear or camp. By having my crosshair already on those areas or corners where players appear, they step right onto my crosshair as soon as they come around that corner. Another benefit of doing this is if you have the slowdown aim assist turned on is that you also immediately get the benefit of that aim assist, which means your crosshair slightly sticks to them when you continue to move out. Here's an example. I'm going to take my finger off the sticks and just leave my aim on that corner. Watch what happens. My crosshair automatically helps track the target as they come around. A player or players stand no chance whenever you do this, especially if you pre-fire as they come around. Please don't focus on one point too much. You may miss other stuff happening around you. Use your peripheral vision to keep one eye on other areas and also be ready to react if someone comes there instead. Going back to the previous clip, even though my aim is on this entry point to the flag, I am also using my peripheral vision to keep an eye on this area also. As I get closer, I also quickly check before moving on to the next flag. Once again, I go back to this area. It is a common entry point to this flag. I move my aim from top to bottom, but I still keep an eye on where my aim was previously to react if someone appears there. And they do. How many times have you heard or seen someone briefly and then focus too much on the area in fear of them getting you? What usually happens? You get taken out by another player because you were unaware they were there and you really should have seen them. This is how target prioritization, situational awareness and anticipation are interconnected. Deal with the most imminent threat first, target prioritization, but to do so you need to stay aware of what is around you, situational awareness. By being more aware of your situation, you can then better anticipate your enemy. If you anticipate it happening, you are therefore ready for it and you can react faster. Here I just killed multiple enemies as I pushed the Cap C flag. It has taken me a while to clear this route, which has given a few players time to respawn on the flag I am now pushing to cap. So I anticipate one or two players waiting on me coming around the corner. So this coupled with my reactions gave the defending player no chance. I knew he would be there ready for me. The flow of a game or certain trends can also help you anticipate your enemy's movements. This includes looking at what flags your team controls as well as what the enemy holds. This can help predict what flags they will be pushing. In this clip I can see they have C flag and we hold A and B. I anticipate that they will most likely be moving towards B as that is the closer of our two flags. So I get into a nice spot and wait. Another way you can anticipate your enemy is recognizing how they play. There are certain players that do the same thing all the time or of a particular style. In a series of recent squad conquest games, myself and a friend came across a squad that liked to go to our home spawn and put down a spawn beacon. And after they capped a flag, they would move off it but stay close by. After playing a round or so against them, I knew to expect this, and together we could cut them off from doing so. Here's an example. On the B flag on areas, they would move to the very back of the flag and out of bounds area behind the sandbags. I was anticipating them being there, and they were there. After doing this to them countless times, I got hate mail saying I was a mouse and keyboard user. No, I was just able to react quickly to them because I anticipated them being there. Even though I could only see their head, I was ready for them and could react quicker to them than what they could do with me. I wouldn't even go onto the flag to let them know I was there, therefore they had no clue about me being around. Another way is knowing the spawn points. If you know where they will spawn, you can cut them off. This is especially important if you've just killed someone on a flag and it has not turned in your favour yet. They can still spawn on it and will be wanting to come back at you. This is what the current gameplay has been showing. I know they spawn just up that embankment and I'm just waiting on them running down trying to cap the flag. To finish off, think of the whole anticipation thing like this. When you're learning to drive a car, you're taught about hazard perception and to look out for possible dangers. Anticipate things. Such things might include a car door swinging open in front of you. You will be more aware of this if you've seen a car recently park at the side of an narrow road. The driver may be ready to get out. If you didn't notice this, you are more likely to be in a collision. If you see a child on the footpath bouncing a ball, you keep a small eye on them. Why? Well, a situation might arise where that child loses control of the ball and it bounces away from them onto the road. They will naturally jump out in front of your car to get it. However, as you already anticipated this happening, you may already have slowed down and then you can stop faster. Treat the battlefield and any other shooter the same way. I am now going to illustrate this. As I am about to leave the C flag area on devastation, you can see in the minimap that the enemy team have the A flag. Therefore, I must be cautious around this area here and anticipate enemies waiting there or about to enter from the outside. As I cautiously move out, there was someone to the right, but somebody else gets them. Now outside, I watch for player movements here or enemies camping here. Additionally, I hear and spot an enemy tank. He has not seen me, so I could probably leave it, but as an assault player, I want him dead and go for it while I remain unseen. As I approach him, he spots me and this immediately puts me in a more dangerous situation, and he knows I'm around. I get 2 sticks of dynamite on their tank and this causes them to retreat. In the end, I still get him. Now moving up to the A flag, I spot a friendly tank to my left. I am hoping he can protect my left flank. I check these areas again and I anticipate either players coming through here or I'll be engaging some as I go in or immediately after. There are quite a few. I target the ones looking at me first and take them out and then the others around them, but there's too many and I have to retreat to another position. Once again I see more and after taking out a few more I retreat to heal up. I anticipate 1 or 2 pushing me as they know I will be on low health, but I still manage to take one out. So folks, that concludes part 1. I hope you found it interesting and begin to see that those who think on the battlefield will do much better than those who simply rely on their gun skills. I aim to show you more in part 2, where I talk about movement and positioning as well as visual and auditory cues that most do not pay attention to. I would also like to thank The Contagious Gamer, Tribe Jimmy, Lonely One Kenobi, Bully and Bushkiller for helping me film certain parts of this video, both The Contagious Gamer and Tribe Jimmy stream, and I have linked their channels below. If you enjoyed the video, please share it, retweet it and leave a comment below if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, I'll catch you again in the next video.